When was the last time you truly lived for yourself? Not for your parents, not for your friends, not for society, but for you. Most people don't even realize how much of their lives are lived on autopilot, chasing other people's approval, comparing themselves to strangers online, waiting for someone to validate their worth. But here's the hard truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not a partner, not some superhero. The only person who can save you is you. And if that scares you, good. Because that's the wake-up call you've been avoiding. Think about how much time you've already lost waiting. Waiting for the right moment. Waiting for someone to give you permission. Waiting until you feel ready. But here's the thing. There will never be a perfect moment. Life doesn't pause until you decide to move. Every single day you wait. You're digging yourself deeper into the hole of regret. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, do you really want to look back and realize you wasted your life waiting for a sign when the sign was inside you all along? Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." That's not just a witty line, it's a truth most people ignore. You've been trying so hard to fit in, to be liked, to play a role that society expects, that you've forgotten what it feels like to actually be you. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Let that sink in. The moment you stop giving people permission to define your worth, you take your power back. But here's why so many people stay stuck. They believe their abilities, their intelligence, their potential are fixed. They think, this is who I am. I can't change, I can't grow, and that's the biggest lie you've been sold. Science proves the opposite. Your brain, your character, your skills, they're not fixed. They can grow, adapt, evolve. This is what's called a growth mindset. If you believe you can improve, you'll embrace challenges instead of running from them. You'll see failure as feedback, not as a definition of who you are. You'll stop wasting energy pretending to be perfect, and instead you'll focus on becoming better every single day. Now ask yourself, what happens when you face a setback? Do you say, maybe I'm just not good enough? Or do you say, not yet? I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. That simple shift from I can't to not yet can change your entire life. Because not yet keeps you moving. Not yet keeps you growing. Not yet keeps you alive. And here's another truth. People don't follow what you do. They follow why you do it. You can try to impress people with what you own, what you've achieved, what title you hold. But deep down, none of that sticks. What inspires people is your why, your reason, your fire. So if you don't know why you get up in the morning, if you don't know what your life stands for, if you don't know what you're chasing, then you're just drifting. And a drifting life always leads to regret. But here's the good news. You can stop drifting today. It starts with a decision to stop chasing distractions, a decision to stop living for other people, a decision to stand up right now and declare, I will take ownership of my life. Because when you own your morning, you own your life. Think about it. When you wake up early, when you start the day with clarity, intention, and energy, you gain an edge that most people never experience. While the world sleeps, you're building yourself. While others scroll through their phones, you're creating a future. While others are complaining, you're taking action. And here's something you've probably noticed. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. When you focus on your problems grow. When you focus on fear, fear multiplies. But when you focus on your goals, your growth, your purpose, something magical happens. You start noticing opportunities you never saw before. You start meeting people who align with your vision. You start creating momentum that pulls you forward. And suddenly, life begins to move in your favor. But it all begins with one choice: to rise up, to stop waiting, to focus on yourself. Because the greatest tragedy is not losing time, money, or relationships. The greatest tragedy is losing yourself. So let me ask you again, when was the last time you truly lived for yourself? Here's the truth about life. No matter how early you wake up, no matter how hard you grind, no matter how much pain you endure, there will always be someone who works harder than you. There will always be someone richer, smarter, stronger, faster. So why waste your life comparing? Comparison is poison. It eats away at your confidence. It blinds you to your own gifts. And worst of all, it steals your joy. Stop looking sideways. Stop measuring your worth by somebody else's highlight reel. Stop scrolling through social media and thinking you're behind. You are not behind. You are on your own timeline. Your path is unique. As one powerful quote says, your path is unique and you don't need to compare it with anyone else's. Read that again. Let it sink into your bones. The only competition that matters is not with them. It's with who you were yesterday. But here's what happens when you focus on others. You start doubting yourself. You start questioning your decisions. You start living a life that isn't even yours. And in the process, you disappear. That's why you must bring the focus back to where it belongs, to yourself. Living for yourself doesn't mean being selfish. It means living authentically. It means having the courage to be disliked, to be misunderstood, to be criticized, because you refuse to betray yourself just to be accepted. The truth is, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. As one quote reminds us, not everyone is going to like you, and that's perfectly fine. Your job isn't to please everyone. Your job is to honor your own soul. Now listen carefully. Love yourself more than you love the world. At first, that might sound strange, maybe even selfish, but it's not. Because if you can't love yourself, if you can't take care of yourself, if you can't respect yourself, how can you ever give real love, care, and respect to anyone else? The strongest people aren't the ones who sacrifice themselves to please the world. The strongest people are the ones who have the courage to stand firm in who they are, no matter what the world says. And here's the paradox. When you stop chasing validation, when you stop begging for attention, when you stop molding yourself to fit in, you become magnetic. People respect those who respect themselves. People follow those who know where they're going. People are drawn to those who stand strong in their truth. But it all starts with you. So what does focusing on yourself actually look like? It means starting your mornings with intention, not with chaos, not with distraction. Remember what we said in part 1. Own your morning, elevate your life. When you wake up, don't reach for your phone. Don't check messages. Don't drown yourself in noise. Instead, spend that first sacred hour on your mind, your body, your spirit. Meditate, exercise, read journal, pray. Do whatever it takes to center yourself, to fuel your soul, to remind yourself of who you are and what you stand for. Because when you start your day focused on you, You step into the world unshakable. But here's the challenge. Distractions will always try to steal your focus. The phone buzzes, the news screams, people demand your time. And if you're not careful, your energy gets scattered everywhere, except where it truly matters. That's why you must guard your focus like it's the most precious treasure you own. Because it is. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you focus on drama, you'll live in drama. If you focus on negativity, you'll drown in negativity. But if you focus on growth, discipline, and purpose, you'll rise. Now let's be honest. This won't be easy. You'll be tempted to fall back into old patterns. You'll be tempted to compare, to complain, to get lost in distractions. But every time you catch yourself drifting, bring it back. Remind yourself, my path is my own. My job is not to be better than them. My job is to be better than me. And remember this, focusing on yourself is not about isolation, it's about strength. It's about building the kind of inner foundation that cannot be shaken by opinions, setbacks, or failures. Because once you master yourself, once you know who you are and where you're going, then and only then can you truly serve, inspire, and uplift others. So today, make the shift. Stop looking outward. Start looking inward. Stop comparing. Start creating. Stop living for approval. Start living for truth. This is the shift of focus. This is the turning point. This is how you rise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You wake up in the morning, the sun is rising, the world is quiet, and for the first time in a long time, you feel clear, you feel strong, you feel alive. That's what happens when you stop drifting and start focusing on yourself. Here's the secret. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It's not built in a day. It's built in the little choices, repeated daily. Every small effort compounds. Every tiny step matters. Every moment of discipline builds into a lifetime of strength. As the old saying goes, small efforts, repeated day by day, create extraordinary results. So don't underestimate the power of today. Don't dismiss the value of this moment. Because this moment, right here, right now, is the seed of your future. And here's the truth you must never forget. Your light is unique. Your voice is unique. Your story is unique. Nobody else has walked your path. Nobody else has lived your pain. Nobody else carries your dreams. So why would you hide your light? Why would you dim it just to make others comfortable? One quote says it perfectly. Everyone has their own light. Let it shine. The world doesn't need another copy. The world needs the real you. Yes, it will take courage. Courage to stand alone. Courage to face failure. Courage to keep going when nobody believes in you. But remember this. Courage is the key to living true to yourself. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you move forward despite the fear. It means you take the leap, not because you're fearless, but because your vision is stronger than your excuses. And here's the beauty. When you rise, you inspire others to rise. When you focus on yourself, you give others permission to do the same. When you live authentically, you become a living reminder that they can too. Your life becomes a message. Your actions become a spark. Your journey becomes a light for those still lost in the dark. But make no mistake, this journey won't be smooth. There will be setbacks. There will be days you feel like giving up. There will be moments you wonder if it's even worth it, and in those moments you must remember, strength isn't built in comfort. It's forged in struggle. As one quote reminds us, difficulties are not the enemy, they are valuable lessons. Every failure is a teacher. Every obstacle is a stepping stone. Every setback is simply setting you up for a greater comeback. So what does it mean to rise? It means you stop running from yourself. It means you stop hiding behind excuses. It means you stop waiting for the world to give you permission. To rise is to reclaim your power. To rise is to take full ownership of your life. To rise is to look in the mirror and say, "This is my life. This is my time. And I will not waste it." And here's the truth. Life is short. You don't get a second run. You don't get a dress rehearsal. This is it. So live it fully. Love deeply. Take risks. Chase your vision. And above all, stay true to yourself. Because at the end of the day, the greatest failure is not falling down. It's never standing up. So stand up. Stand up for your dreams. Stand up for your future. Stand up for the person you know you can become. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for approval. Rise today. Rise now and focus completely, relentlessly, unapologetically on yourself. It's because when you rise, when you focus, when you live authentically, you become unstoppable. You become unshakable. You become free. So let me leave you with this. The world doesn't need a weaker version of you. The world doesn't need a copy. The world needs your strength. The world needs your light. The world needs the real you. So rise, shine, and never forget. You are the only you this world will ever have.